My name is Seth, and I'm the Project Management Captain for FRC Team 1148. Today, I'm going to show you how to use the beltsander. This is an example of a rough cut we would use the beltsander to smooth out. First, turn on the beltsander and take the piece you're using and place it on as evenly as you possibly can. Then you press the piece down to remove the excess material. After using the beltsander, it should be apparent that this is a smoother, more evenly cut piece. Just note that if you're trying to do something precise or something that will be used for the robot, we want to use a different machine, something more precise than the beltsander. Another way in which we use the beltsander is by removing sharp edges from freshly machined parts while still keeping the integrity of the plane. The way we do that is by placing the piece on the sander and slowly rotating it, which shakes off some of the sharp material and rounds off the edges. Press evenly on all parts of the material that you are working with so that it doesn't mess with the straight edges. By smoothing out the edges, we are able to use the material without getting hurt, and have the material be flat, which is what we want. A couple of tips for using the beltsander are to make sure that you're not wearing any loose clothing, tie up any long hair, wear goggles, and use ear protection. Also, when working with metals like aluminum, be sure to put on a mask as it removes particles into the air. Thanks for watching.